next question on everyone's mind is how are we going to pay for all this? We didn't do a lot on economics, I've got to tell you. We focused most of our work on the science, the ecology, the chemistry, the geology of the area. But we did want to explore this area of funding, because there are lots of funding opportunities for environmental restoration, especially for lake restoration, park restoration, floodplain and wetland restoration. So we wanted to share with you some of the things that we found. I'm glad to hear that Lowell is already looking at grant opportunities. And we just wanted to share a few of those with you, just to let you know there are funding opportunities out there to fund this type of work. It might not cover everything, but certainly could be explored for various aspects of the project that the community decided it wanted to move forward on. First is the small-scale lake planning grant. This is offered by the Wisconsin DNR, and a number of these are offered by the Wisconsin DNR. We've put together in the report application dates, award ranges, as well as the types of projects that are covered under these grants. There's the small-scale lake planning grant. There's also a large-scale lake planning grant that has an award range of up to $10,000. So these are grants that can be explored, applied for, and may help fund some of this restoration work on the lake. Lake protection grant, again, DNR, award range up to $200,000 for various aspects. It would need to be built into the project. We've talked a lot about aquatic invasive species, and certainly there are aquatic invasive species in Lake Marion, and there are control grants for that type of work as well, offered through the Wisconsin DNR, which could be used to help improve the quality of the lake and to address some of these aquatic invasive species such as the carp and the curly leaf plants. Then there are some other broader initiatives, such as the Pulling Together Initiative and the Partners for Recreation and Conservation Grant. For example, the Partners in Recreation and Conservation Grant is a grant that's in development through Dane County to help improve park areas within Dane County. And its award range is up to $250,000. So I think it's important for the village to understand all of these potential grants and to get ahead of the curve and understand what's required to win one of these grants, what kinds of projects are covered, who do you talk to, how do you make sure that you're in line for these grants? Because you're not the only ones that would be competing for this money, but this project, I think, provides lots of opportunities to fit within the objectives of these grants. Now I'll turn it back over to Professor Potter to acknowledge all of the people who've helped us. I want to acknowledge Professor Potter for really being a great leader for all of us students and helping us through this project. It's been a fun project. I think we've all learned a lot and just really appreciate his leadership.
Okay, anyway, great job. I just want to say we had a lot of help on this project, and that was great in two ways. One, it I think made it a much better project, and two, it made it a much better experience for the students, and that they got to work with professionals in a lot of different ways. And this is just some of the organizations we worked with, and I'll let you look at them. And then there are obviously a number of individual people we worked with, and it was Sue was very, very helpful. We appreciate all the help you gave us. Lowell, Scott helped us a lot to get this whole thing going, and has been one of the visionary thinkers in this whole process. So I'm not going to go through all of them. You can read them as I mumble. But I just want to say that the people part of this was especially gratifying, the assistance we got. People came out in the field and helped us in the field and asked questions, and we got a lot of insight that way, learned a lot about what had been done historically. And in terms of the funding for this, there's going to be some real dollars needed, but you have a lot of expertise in this community. It's impressive the expertise you have and the energy you have. And I think there are a lot of things you could do on your own as you've done in the past. I think you've done drawdowns on the lake, you've done carp exercises. I think you could do a lot of that stuff with your own labor, provide the match basically for some of the funding. And so I think it's going to be really exciting to see this thing evolve over time. And so, again, I want to acknowledge these organizations and people.